Thank you, sir, for being with us. To start this journey of conversation of CEO Talk, we would like to request you to give us an insight that who inspired you to become an entrepreneur, and if you can give us some highlights on what inspired to make this empire of MAPL.
Okay, so you see, I don't think there is anything in our industry that I have heard of that somebody getting inspired by someone and possibly setting up a business. I beg to disagree with this general feeling that people carry. You see, what happens is that in India we've got a different background of people. We must admit that we've got classes of people here. Everybody has got a different background. There are people who come from business background. They run their family businesses. There are people who come from defense background. Possibly they pursue. Then there are people who like us, right, who come from landlord families, right. I'm the first generation entrepreneur. And I have no hesitation in saying that our ancestors have been cultivating lands. So I've not learned business from my mother's womb, if I put it in the right perspective. So that's the background I come from. I did my schooling from Delhi, and I pursued my engineering from, I'm an alumni of RVC Bangalore and computer science. And initially, as anyone else, I pursued my career with the Indian multinational for a few years. And then I joined a kind of a startup. We can call it a startup now. Those days there was no startup. It all started from there. But then coming to your question, how this, I thought the idea of getting an organization, building an organization came into my mind. So you see, there are some traits every individual has in their character and personalities. Since childhood, I have a knack of leading, whether it was Nukkad and Gully friends or your schoolmates or whatever. More so when I reached college, that leadership and, taking a lead, helping others, making collective completions, as a responsibility, it all started from there. So when you develop that kind of a mindset, it's not easy to work under someone. So I always thought that, running an organization and leading people, helping all others manage their portfolios was a knack I carried, and I pursued by building a small organization. Of course, every organization is a small organization when you start off. So this is how an idea of millennium came. 2000 K, 2000 was being talked about during those times. So we got an idea of putting a millennium word to it. So in 2000, we started this millennium venture, and that's how the journey started.
So that was wonderful to know about it. Very inspiring, though. Building any company from scratch is a very daunting task. So can you share some of your experience, which can be a limelight for the youth of today, an aspirant youth who are looking for the entrepreneurship journey as an inspiration in their career pathway?
All right. So you see, every phase of business, whether it is 2023, a decade back, 2 decades back, 3 decades back, has got its own challenges. Today, if you talk of setting up an organization, the first thing that comes in your mind is a startup. And when we started the organization, there was no concept as startup. Something called bootstrap. What is bootstrap? We all know. You earn your money and you reinvest that money in your setup. So again, I have no hesitation in saying that Millennium even today is a bootstrap organization. We earn our money, we reinvest our money in our system. So the question that you have asked me, that how the journey has been. So during those times, either there were bootstrap organizations or there were well-established Indian multinationals, running the businesses. So the challenge that we had was to make a foray into the business which is actually meant and being run by those big giants. You see what happened, that those times the marketing of businesses was restricted to few business tycoons. In IT and telecom, there were only 4, 5, 3 players, 6, who were leading the pack. Similarly, in non-IT, in the infrastructure, there were few names who were leading. Nobody knew anything about Silicon Valley. Nobody knew a foreign investment coming, despite 91, 92 being a liberalization period. So the cascading effect of this difficult times was basically was borne by us, and we had challenges in reaching out to new OEMs. There was no internet penetrations of that extent where you can connect with an OEM with a click of a button. You can introduce yourself, they can reach you by possibly examining and scrutinizing your credentials at any given point. So these facilities were not there. So we had to work very hard. We had to reach out to people with limited infrastructure. We had to reach out to the OEM community, technology maker, the customers, right, end customer. And I'm not talking of 1947. I'm just talking of 2.5 decades back. But you have to believe that the kind of infrastructure, the kind of interface, the technology, communication that we have today, we just did not have it. We have so many people, who have grown up from those levels. They can relate. So the challenges were of different nature. There was no VC community there. There was no angel investments there. There were no banking supports which were available during that time. So you had to build a business with a limited cash flow. You have to reinvest that cash flow. You have to build confidence in a customer that yes, you can be a game changer. You can deliver those services and remain counted in development of that specific project or assignment. And the risk customer was taking on to was huge. So you need to build that relationship. Then you have to maintain that relationship. You have to retain that relationships. And then you have to build up a credit credential, because business is run with money, right? Everything else is secondary. So people were hesitant to offer credits to new people who are venturing into businesses. Defaults have been existing in India since independence. So banks had that in mind. Banks were not liberal, right? And then there were no credit rankings that time, like we have now. There are so many benchmarks which have established in last 5 years, 10 years, which were not there. So we had to build that during those difficult times. Taking one small challenge at a time, build up, and then take referrals. The customer referrals were very important during those times. And then developing a relationship with the technology partners, building up the right team, and then retaining that right team. So somehow that journey we have gone the hard way. We've labored genuinely very hard, and we have stayed and possibly surviving despite the new generations coming up with different ideas. Today you have VC pumping fundings even when an idea gets conceived. And during those times, even if you have an infrastructure business of couple of crores, nobody was ready to pump in money. So we have gone through that drill. God has been kind. Our working culture and our the tenacity to finish jobs and maybe the face value have made us succeed.
That was wonderful. MAPL has achieved a significant milestones. Can you highlight few of your major wins during your journey?
You see, I think every win for an Indian company surviving this difficult time is a special win. But since you are asking me to single out few, so the first win that I will name is DotSoft implementation in J&K when that was in its peak of terrorism. That was 99-2000. So that was a great implementation project of an ERP solution across J&K state that we built in 99-2000. And after that, there's another big win of I would like to name is paramilitary backbone network that we created for Border Security Force and Shashastra Seema Bal. So again, that's one win that I would like to keep in mind and on record. And before I forget, we were the first one to set up digital computer labs along with curriculum, the largest project ever done in India in Delhi. We were the first one to do it. So that was about 556 schools, if I'm not wrong. So, and then there are numerous. I mean, if you ask me honestly, every 2 months the win that we do is a hard labor. Nothing comes free to us. So, but distinguishing is difficult. But since you wanted to name, so these are 3-4 wins I would like to put in.
So talking about the future expansion of MAPL, where do you foresee your journey towards to?
Okay, so see, we need to keep pace and be adaptable with the changes globally in technology and economy. Both are linked. And also you need to keep an eye on the initiative that Government of India is taking for promoting and possibly setting up new businesses in India. So considering that in mind, I think there is for next few years, our eyes are focused on building up technology infrastructure across various domains or various verticals, right? Education we are already covering, defense we are already covering, paramilitary, police we are already there. So we are now going to N+1 and an N+2 stage where they are putting the last mile connectivity. And then they are bringing SaaS as a service there, so we have a role to play there. Over and above, we are also looking at strengthening our existing portfolio, which includes IT, telecom, products and services, cyber security, surveillance. We are venturing into ERP and giving new solutions in railway, signal and telecom, because they are also converging now. Government of India has identified railways as a focus area. So, and banking, we have missed out big time on banking. So these are few areas that we'll be working on, and keeping apprised and updated with the new technology developments which are there in the field that I've just named.
So as a successful entrepreneur, what do you like to guide to our future youth who look forward to entrepreneurship? And what are the milestones that they can achieve as a techie at the background?
So you see, the youth of this current era, I don't think they like to be guided. That is what my opinion is. But for the sake of answering this question, if someone comes to me, I would not say, like I initially said, there's nothing called inspiring, because inspiring is a theoretical word. I'm sorry if I'm contradicting your question here. So the youth has to, first of all, carry a mentor, right? They should have a mentor. That's the first and the foremost thing, that they should have a mentor. Any challenge of technology, business, knowledge share, they should go back to the board and discuss with him and thrash out the problem and come out. Second most important thing is to manage their cash flows. So it is very easy to build a business and then take 500 crores from a VC, where you haven't managed a 500 or a 5,000 rupees pocket money all your life. So it's not easy for you to manage 5,000 crores of money being infused by some investor who's backing you up with the idea that you're going to implement. So please manage your cash flows. That's what I would like. And then third, be ready to compromise your personal life, because there is nothing as weekends, there is nothing as club life, right? All youth, because if you are going to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to compromise. You cannot draw a balance between, because if you are running an organization, today you have a startup may have 20 employees, 50 employees, it will lead to 3. So you imagine the families that you're going to take care of. So you can't choose your personal relationship, one individual over those families. So that is the biggest, if you're not ready to make that sacrifice, don't venture. Don't take anybody's money. Otherwise you won't be able to treat their money as your own money. And then foremost, keep good health. If you don't have good health, right, you will, if you're not able to take care of your health, nobody should bank on you that you will be able to run the organization, right? So these are few things I would like the new generation to possibly keep it in mind.
Thank you so much for your valuable time, and to stay connected with us for such CEO Talks future, and connect to our YouTube channel.